Good morning, everybody. It's your girl, Maria Tolbert, the creator of the Rose Color Movement, and I'm so excited to be with you this morning. As you know, this is time for Self-Care Saturday, and Self-Care Saturday is all about bringing an array of topics on with an array of guests to help meet you wherever you are on your self-care journey. Just to remind you that self-care is not always about massages and spas and things like that. You can't often get to that part of self-care unless you're taking care of yourself wherever you are currently. So make your self-care journey specific to you, and I will be here to help you as we talk about all the different kind of topics that can be in the way of you living your best self. I do want to ask, if you have a story, if you have a business, if you have something that you want to share with guests and get out there to inspire and motivate people to live their best life, holla at your girl. I would love to bring you onto my platform on a self-care Saturday so you can share your story. But today, my story is all about the meal prep, not specifically around meal prep. I was having a hard time trying to figure out what the topic would be today because I feel like my guest, Lyshanna Hatten, would be able to tell you about an array of things around eating. I should have said eating made easy. I don't know. We'll talk about all the stuff related to keto, meal prepping, and her business that actually will help you if you're trying to change how you're approaching a lifestyle change around eating. So let's go ahead and bring her on. I won't keep talking. I'll let her tell us all about her story. And without further ado, here she comes. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm good. Now, before we start, I was really had some angst around how am I going to pronounce her name? Because I've been calling you Lyshanna for years. And then that post you just made recently, it was like, so is it Lyshanna? That's what I should be saying?
It's Lyshanna. Yes, ma'am.
You had me calling you wrong.
But I have love for you, so it's okay.
Oh, okay, so Lyshanna is here.
Yes.
Tell us all about our story. So anyway, thank you so much for coming to the Self-Care Saturday platform. I really appreciate you sharing. I mean, and actually here's the ironic part about it. I was this morning in the kitchen preparing breakfast. My husband's like, you know what? He was like, we about to start keto. I said, now, my guest today is someone who's talking about keto. So this is going to be more hitting home for me in this lifestyle change that I guess we're trying to make. I told him let's baby step because everything that we introduce at whole, we never succeed. I'm like, let's start to make small changes and get ourselves there. So I said I would definitely ask Lyshanna today about how we go about doing that. So before we get to that, I just want to let the people know a little bit about your journey and how you even ended up with the keto and then transforming it into a business that's successful.
Absolutely. So how I kind of began, we are Southern girls, we're thick. However, I wanted to make sure that I was healthy. I wanted to, have longevity with my life, be here with my sons and my family, right? And so a few years ago, I really got into looking at different ways of eating, right? Whole30 was really popular. Some of the vegan programs were really popular. And I even attempted some of them and it did not work for me. I'm from the South. I like my meat. So I wasn't able to, sustain that particular way of eating. And in terms of Whole30, I just really wasn't getting results in terms of how I was feeling or even on the scale, right? And so keto kind of came across, and this was about 4 years ago before it really got popular. And I started doing a little research. It wasn't a whole lot of information out there. I kept getting referred to like the low carb lifestyle and the Atkins plan and things of that nature. And so I did attempt to try, just eating low carb, keeping my carb count under 50 grams per day. And I was starting to see results because I do really enjoy carb-laden food. So the rice, the pasta, potatoes, soul food, that's some of my comfort foods. And so taking those things out of my diet was challenging. And so I did not stick to it the first go round. So fast forward to January of 2020, I had my second child. And the need to be healthier was even more pertinent for me and my family. And so I was like, let me look into keto because I was getting results, lowering my carb intake. Let me look into this again. And so I started doing more research. I watched some documentaries. There's a documentary out there on Netflix called, oh my God, it just escaped me. The Magic Pill. Yes. And so there was some information in there that was very similar to, really getting back to our roots, sticking with, proteins and vegetables and natural foods. Right. And from there, I found a slew of YouTube videos where different women in my similar background were eating this way and having great results. One of the YouTube channels that I follow, and I really, really love her, is Cutting Up Keto. And so she's a mother, she's of African descent, and she was very successful with the diet. She had some really interesting science that she had found, which was even more interesting to me. So I went and looked at some of these platforms that she had shared, Dr. Berg, Dr. DeLauer, and really understood the science behind what eating this way does for my body. And I was sold. And so I started, like you said, you want to introduce things, especially if you want to do it with your family, a little bit at a time. But with keto, I kind of jumped right in, right? I really was like, I want to get into this state of ketosis. I want to really, rid my body of all of the, sugars that's in my body that's, making me hold on to this water. I really want to get that stuff out of me. And it was tough going all in. It was tough because, as you can imagine, your body is going through withdrawals, right? From your sugar addiction. And so I started having, what they call the keto flu, headaches and feeling, really tired and sluggish, not sluggish, but more lethargic, right? And then once I came out of that, I felt really good. You just got to kind of ride the wave and hang in there. The first 2 weeks is usually when people give up if they're going into keto like I did, all the way, and really restricting their carb intake. Because it's hard. It feels really bad. Your body don't feel good. Yeah. But for me, it was the perfect time. I was on maternity leave, so I was home. I was able to kind of rest. I wasn't, up at work. I think it would have been even more challenging if I had to, really do things to, use energy because I had none. Right. But after I got through the first 2 weeks, obviously the scale was a huge motivator. And I started feeling really good. I was like, ooh, the energy that I get, I continued to do more research. And after the first month, I incorporated the intermittent fasting, which is a whole nother facet. But yeah, I started to see results. And in the span of 3 months, I had lost over 40 pounds. So I was hooked.
I need that. I'm so sign me up. Okay. Can't finish yet. All right. So the thing that I have heard is the part where you said with the keto flu, and it kind of turned me off. I'm like, I already got enough issues. But right. I think that's what you're saying when you're talking about I guess every time I think about someone detoxing or having to change the way their body is, there's always withdrawals. When you make a change, it doesn't matter. It could be relationships, it could be food, anything. Absolutely. Changing, you're going to have a feeling or a period of time where you have to readjust. So yes. I think it's a mindset. We've been talking about that a lot. And that's really what my platform is about, is that mindset change around things and understanding that if you want to do something different, it is going to require work. It's going to require focus. It's going to require, and that's where we so, the thing when you started to offer the meal planning, yes. the meal prep and meal planning, it was like a thing. Like some people were doing it and they made it look so easy. I even think you, like when you were going, I'm watching you personally doing it for yourself, and I'm thinking, yeah, I want to be that way. There's a lot going on in my life, and understanding that if you need help to get the help. So I was like, she's offering meal prep and meal planning. I might need to consider incorporating that, and that could be helpful. So let's talk about how your transition and how the things that you've learned turned into SHANNA'S Kitchen's Kreations.
Absolutely. So, as you can imagine, when you come across friends and family and people who have seen you at a heavier size and they're like, hey, what you doing? I want to know about this. And so, as I was sharing, not in the way of being pushy, but I was enthusiastic because I'm like, listen, if you do it right, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of different ways to do keto, and you will see success. I just don't think it's a lifestyle that's sustainable. You can't eat bacon and burgers every day, all day. Like, that's just, you're going to lose the weight, but it's not healthy for you in the long run, and you're not going to be able to sustain that. So when I would share my journey, I really was selling, I guess, in a sense, individuals on the mindset that this can be a healthy lifestyle. You're replacing some of the saturated fats that we get through fast food and all of that with really healthy fats like coconut oil, olive oil, coconuts, and avocado, like things that I wasn't really eating before. Those are some of my staples now. And so as I was sharing my journey, I would hear things like, oh, well, you always like to cook, so this comes easy for you, which is true. I've always had a passion. I've always had a passion to cook, and I really enjoy feeding other people. So it's just kind of natural for me. And I get that some people aren't as skilled in the kitchen, or they really just don't have a desire to be in the kitchen. And so that's what really gave me the idea to, put my services out there, because I really felt a lot of people could benefit from it.
Yeah. And so you offer like a plan for like a weekly plan. Explains what your business offers for meal prep.
Yeah. Absolutely. So on my website, www.shanna'skitchen.com, I have meal plans that you can actually order. So it's a digital that you can download. And if you do have skills in the kitchen, you can just take the meal plan, do the shopping, and prepare the meals yourself, and you're going to get the results. And it does have some recipes included in that in the meal plan. Now, in terms of the meal prep services, you can find those options on my website as well. The minimum order is like 5 meals. So if you're just kind of starting out, you may want 5 lunch or entree meals, right, to get started, or 5 dinner meals, whatever. And the price for that, it starts at $65. However, there's some add-ins and things like that you can add on that, is a different cost. But I have had clients to start with the 5 meals, and, if you're not consistent with the other things you're eating, then it's kind of counterproductive. Right. And so I do like to include just some tips in their orders, like, hey, these are some things you can have for breakfast that are still, on this same way of eating. These are some things you should look at having for your other meals to make sure that you're getting the results. And then I've had clients to say, okay, I want you to prepare my whole day. I want breakfast, snacks, lunch, and dinner. And I've done those types of orders for clients as well. That way it takes all of the guessing, and they don't have to, worry about what I'm going to have for snack today, because their snacks are prepared, their desserts are prepared, and it's all keto, and they feel really good about it. So those are some of the different things that I offer. I do offer other services that are not keto related that are still, in the food industry as well.
So what are those offerings?
Yes, so we have SHANNA'S Kitchen do provide catering services and private meal services as well. I do have entree size portions. So if you are trying to feed a family, and it can be keto or not keto meal options as well. But if you're trying to feed a family, we do have larger portion sizes that are family size that you can order. That way your whole family can be eating the same thing. And then, like I said, we have those same options that are not keto as well.
Yeah, so I was going to talk about it a little bit. And before I get into that, I just want to say, disclaimer, I have had her food and I know that she can cook. So when she talks about the cool part about being healthy but still eating well, because I think that's a big part of it. If you do these drastic changes or things that you can't sustain, then even if you see success in the short term, long term, are you going to be able to maintain that? Because you're still going to like what you like. You're still going to be interested in eating certain things. And then you haven't switched your mindset to incorporate eating in a way that matches what you want to do from
Right.
from a holistic perspective. So I know we're talking about keto, and I think I'm actually going to I'm going to be hitting you up, but
yeah, let's do a consultation.
for real, because I really want to change. I want to make the changes, but having got a new job, trying to get Self-Care Saturday going, having kids who are both active in sports and things like that.
Yeah, you have a lot going on.
It becomes a lot, and I'm like, I need some help. And I'm recognizing that. And my mom keeps telling me I have Self-Care Saturday. When are you going to take the Self-Care Saturday advice? Shout out to my mom. She's like,
yes, Mom.
So recognize when you need help. And, I may have these beautiful relationships with people. I'm going to use them. But I know I'm talking about keto. It looks like that's going to be something that'll be helpful for me. But I do want you to talk about for people who do feel like Whole30 is for them. Or I know I was something else you mentioned on your site. I can't remember what it was. But what are the other type of meal prep that you offer other than keto, in case people are like, well, I don't think keto is just for me?
Right, absolutely. So I do have some vegetarian options, as well as the Whole30 options, meal plans that I can prepare for customers. I really get a lot of keto eaters. That is like a huge topic these days. But there are, other options out there. If there's a specific way of eating that you prefer, you can reach out to me. We can talk about that and come up with a plan for you, and then let me take on the responsibility of doing the shopping, preparing, and putting those meals together for you.
So it's no excuse, guys.
There's no excuse.
We're bringing all the stuff. Now she's telling you if you want to make the changes, you can incorporate that. I'm going to go to the comments real quick because I see somebody said they were headed to, look, with the running little man, talking about they headed over to SHANNA'S kitchen today, but they asked, are there consultations available for specific meal plannings? And I think that's what you're saying, but how would they get in touch with you? Because I don't remember if I saw consultation as an option on there.
It's not. So that's something new that we will be adding to SHANNA'S kitchen, because like what you mentioned, you don't really know how to get into it, and you want to talk through it, right, to understand what plan works for you and your family and what you want to embark on before jumping into it. So that's something new that we will be adding. But I do have several platforms that you can reach me on. I have a Facebook page for SHANNA'S Kitchen with the same exact name. And we also have SHANNA'S Kitchen Kreations LLC on Instagram. So you can reach me in those different platforms. On the website, though, my contact number and email is listed as well. So, several ways to reach out, and we can set up some time to really talk through what your goals are and how we can get you there.
Listen, I'm looking at y'all, all of y'all. So there's no excuse, because whatever your platform is, if you need the help, if you're trying to make the changes, go ahead and reach out and get some consultation. Like I said, for somebody who's going to help you not only make the changes, but make it work for you long term and things that you can adapt long term. And I know, the goal is not that you're going to be meal prepping for them forever. Like, hopefully,
right.
That the goal is that you get it down pat and you can start to transition to taking some of that responsibility on your own. But to get started, help yourself out until you can figure it out. Help yourself. All right. I don't do you have familiarity with Whole30? I don't really know what Whole30 is. I had a friend that tried to introduce me to it before, and I was like, that's seems like a lot for me. But I don't really, not in a judgy way, but just thinking about how I'm going to incorporate it into my life. So can you give us a little bit of background on what the Whole30 is about?
So I'm not a enthusiast for the Whole30 plan. I do know that what I do like about it is that it focuses on eating whole natural food. So not anything processed, right? Things that grow from the earth, or, and you want to eliminate things like dairy and stuff like that, because that can cause inflammation. Now on keto, you can have some dairy. It just works really well on that plan. You do want to limit it, obviously, because it can stall your progress. So you don't want to have, bacon cheeseburgers with no bun every day, right? Or, lots of casseroles every day. Though those things are keto approved and easy access, you can make a casserole and it can last for several meals, but You really want to put in as much fresh vegetables in your diet as possible. I have like a side salad with almost every meal, like no matter what it is. Sometimes I have 3 vegetables as my main meal, you know, so it'll be like a something made out of cauliflower, because cauliflower is just so versatile. I'll have my Brussels sprouts, and then I have my side salad, and then a protein. So yeah, I can get you some more information on that Whole30 specifically, but I know the premise is eating whole natural foods.
Okay, well, you don't have to give me information on because I don't want to know. But if you guys want to know more about 30, you can
Yes.
do the research. The thing that she was saying is that she'll meet you where you are. You have a consultation with her, reach out and tell her that you're interested in her services and you want to talk through what that lifestyle change will be for your family. And then she can do the research to figure out meal options and present them to you and give you ideas of where you guys should go from there. But I'm going to go back to keto now.
You made a great point earlier when you were talking about, you know, if you make a change and your mindset isn't there, yes, you're going to see those results in the short term. For me, like I mentioned earlier, I really, you know, I'm Southern, so I really love Southern foods. And so with keto, you just have to think outside the box and get really creative, because I don't even feel restricted anymore, because I've, you know, created recipes to where I can have my favorite meals and things that I've grown up eating. So we have Soul Food Sunday, and it's keto almost every week. So, you know, I still have faux mac and cheese or faux potato salad, so that I can really, you know, still enjoy the foods that I'm eating, and I don't feel deprived, and it's much easier to sustain this way of eating.
When you guys go to the Instagram page and you look at all those dishes that she prepared, you're gonna be like, I can eat that and lose weight.
Yes.
I'm like, that looks so good. And like I said, I know that her food tastes good. So I'm like, dang. And then I see her results. Like I've seen her physically change, her body change. And I'm like, I want that. What do I need to do? I haven't been successful on my own. So like I said, I'm doing that now. So let's, like I said, back to keto.
Yes.
If you, for someone who started transition just in general, what would be your word of advice or the first things for them to start thinking about or considering when they're trying to embark on this journey of keto?
Okay, so a couple of things actually. One, consult your medical professional. I am not a medical professional, so I do not know your health situation, right? I didn't have any pre-existing health concerns when I made this lifestyle change, so it worked for me. But if you have something going on, please consult that with your doctor first. Do your research so that you're comfortable and knowledgeable about what it is that you are embarking on. That way you're more invested in, you know, you will continue this way of eating. And then once you do those things, getting into keto, keep it simple in the beginning. So like I said, I've come up with very creative ways to make some of my favorite dishes. In the beginning, I kept it really simple before I started, you know, experimenting and buying all of these different ingredients that can be costly, just so that I can make those meals that I've really enjoyed. In the beginning, it would just be a very lean, not lean, but healthy protein. So I try to buy the best quality proteins that I can afford, wild caught, fresh seafood. I really, really love seafood. I'll go to the butcher and get my steaks and stuff like that. But if you can't do that, you can still do keto. But I try my best to, you know, put the best ingredients into my body as I can, as you know, based on my budget. So I kept it simple. Meat and vegetables is what I stuck to in the beginning. Not just having a salad, because obviously you want something warm. You don't want to eat a cold salad every day. But I would have, you know, I would do the salmon, and then I would do the cauliflower rice and just jazz it up with some different herbs and seasonings. And then I would have my side salad on the side. That way I felt like I was still having a full meal. It was warm, and it was very tasty and satisfying. So keep it simple in the beginning.
All right, y'all. Y'all heard it here. Make sure you consult with your doctors first. She's not a physician, so you cannot be looking for her to give you advice from that perspective. But once you have decided that you are all clear to start this journey, go ahead. And I don't know about y'all, but for me, my problem is not just that I want to eat bad things. I like everything. So I don't like vegetables. I can eat vegetarian. I can eat anything. I just like food to taste. Like I don't want to feel like I'm deprived, because then that's where tasteless, or I'm like, I have to eat the same thing with no excitement. I like excitement with my food, like flavors, different things. If I can't have that, then it kind of throws me off. But I'm good with vegetables and meat. And I actually used to have a friend who, before keto really started, it was Beth. I don't even know if you remember working where we were working, where we were working. She used to have broccoli and chicken, grilled chicken. She used to like pre-prep this broccoli and chicken. She would cook like a whole bunch of grilled chicken and a whole bunch of broccoli. And she would um,
Jeremiah used to do that too. He used to eat the same thing every day.
That was where my Elizabeth was. Yes, they were in the same department. I was like, I want to do that, but I know that I would get bored. I mean, if you're the person who can do that, kudos to you, but I just couldn't. So I needed to have someone help me figure out other things. And I'm like, oh, I didn't even think about that vegetable or cauliflower rice. I actually haven't even tried that yet, but I want to try it because I see like so many things that you make from it, or like the cauliflower buffalo like
chicken.
I'm like the stuff that people make using things other than what we are typically used to seeing, and it still looks enjoyable. I'm like, you guys are so creative, and that's why you guys don't try to put that on your own. If you're not able to be creative like that, just reach out. And Lyshanna is gonna all right.
But I mean, Pinterest and things like that, they have really cool recipes. To your point, the buffalo cauliflower chicken is really popular, really good. But there's lots of recipes and things out there. If you're not, creative off the dome, you can just get some recipes.
So I really appreciate you coming on here because it really gave us insight and talking to somebody who makes it successful, and then not only makes it successful, but long-term, like sustainable. That's the key to the real reason why I wanted to bring you on, because you need to see people who are successful at things that you're trying to embark on before you go on it. Because if not, it's just this like being up in the sky. Like I see people doing it, but it doesn't make it real. And then the fact that she's offering consultations to help you walk through your specific journey, that just takes it to the next level. So shout out to SHANNA'S Kitchen's Kreations for helping us our lives together.
Yeah, definitely go and follow your girl on Instagram. You can see a lot more of my food on there for sure.
Yes, on the Instagram. Go to that. I told you guys, you're going to be in awe. You're going to be calling her today. You're going to be emailing her today because you're going to be like, man, this food looks delicious. So let's go ahead and try to wrap this up. Like I said, I appreciate you coming out here and helping us make keto seem something that's reality, that we can make a reality for ourselves. If there's anything that you would want to share, some last tidbits, I know you gave us some things to consider in transitioning, but what about lifestyle changes in general? Because I'm like in awe of some of the things that you've incorporated and the success that you've had.
With keto, it's so versatile. That's the thing that I think people don't realize, because I still enjoy my life. Trust. I still have a nice cocktail, keto approved. I still have my soul food, and my children, they enjoy the meals that I prepare as well at home. So it's versatile. Really give it, if you're interested, if you have a little bit of interest, give it a try. Because I know it gets a bad rep when you see people promoting all this really healthy, unhealthy, greasy food. And that's really not what the lifestyle is meant for. When it says low carb, high fat, healthy fats is the key that they're missing, is the healthy fats that you're putting in your body. And once you do that, your body is really able to run on its most optimal self. Like that's how we should be running, fueling our body rather.
Yep. Yep. So I'm going to go back to the comments before we get out of here. I know I see Sonia says she's excited to hear about the whole 30 options. So there's somebody who wants to hear about that.
Yes.
But they exist. Hi. Welcome.
Awesome. Definitely reach out, Miss Sonia, for sure.
And then, hey, to my cousin, I think a couple people are going to definitely be checking out SHANNA'S Kitchen Kreations and making sure that they can start this lifestyle change, including myself.
Yeah.
And I'm excited and for y'all to be seeing me. You see her, this is before, and that's that's after.
Yeah, I think I got some before photos on there. You guys gonna be like, "Woo, she was up there." But yeah, I'm a little bit lighter now.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that you are meeting yourself where you are. Like you said, being a curvier woman in general is just that you want the curves to be in the right place. Right now, I feel like a lot of my curves landed in my belly, and I feel like you can spread out. You ain't gotta all here. So I gotta help y'all because somehow I have contributed to that by my eating and things. So I'm just trying to help redirect them, get rid of some of the extra. And, you can give me a little curves here and there. So
we all trying to have a hot girl summer, it's coming up. So come on.
I thought you already got a hot girl winter. I was like, I'm ready. Let me get on the bus. Let me get on the bus. And you guys, make sure you check out, like I said, SHANNA'S Kitchen Kreations. You can find her on Instagram, and that's where you'll see a lot of the information about the dishes that she's prepared. Like she said, she has before and after, some of the things that she's given to clients. And then if you want to reach out to her to get a consultation, you can get, I guess they could also direct message you on Instagram or your Facebook, which has the same name, easy to find, just like me, Rose Color Movement, SHANNA'S Kitchen Kreations. That's all platforms you can find using the same name. So again, thank you so much for coming on here, guys.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. And I hope you guys are going to incorporate some changes. I am planning a couple of things. I have a couple of things on my sleeve now that I'm getting 2020 underway. So make sure that you're subscribing and you're following my Facebook and YouTube page. Again, if you have a story to tell, reach out to me. There's no story that's too small. There's no story that is just specific to you. You can inspire someone anywhere where you are, just being you. So with that being said, I look forward to hearing from you. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. And as always, be kind to yourself and be kind to others. Until next Saturday, y'all. Bye.
Bye.